Time is now 5:37, and I'm going to finish it now. It was the night started out very well. I had a couple of $50 fares right near the beginning, and then I had some shorter fares and some good tips. I've only done 5 or 6 trips since midnight, and the last wait was 2 hours long. You know, after about an hour of waiting, I got sent to an address, and I was just pulling up to that address where there was another cab loading, and as soon as I got there, I was canceled. So that sucked. Anyway, the whole night I've got about $275 on for the whole night, so it's not too bad. It's acceptable. And that's it. I'm just gonna go fuel up and go home. And that's how it ends. Yep. Sunday night. Yippee. I don't know if our guy who's always on time is going to be there. I should make it back before he arrives. I don't know if he's back in the country yet. I think somebody else drove it yesterday because of all the settings on the mirrors and the seats and everything. So maybe he's not back yet. Anyhow, 4 more nights to go this week. Okay, it's 5:15 in the morning on Tuesday morning, and it was slow to start. I think I had 1 trip on by 9 o'clock, but then things turned around. No, I don't want it, and I'm gonna book off now. I'm gonna book off, log out. I'm just going to make my way to the bank, make a little deposit, and then I'm going to go wash it, and then I'm going to detail the interior, and then I'm going to go park it, and then go home, and then walk to the chiropractor's and have my back and my neck stretched. That is the plan. Yeah, there was 1 more trip, but no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be late, and I don't want to have to rush for anything. So that's where I'm at right now. I've got about $240 on, which is okay considering how slow it was to start. But now I just had a few minutes to rest in a parking lot, and I started watching a long video, and then I stopped and said, nope, that's it. I gotta get to the bank. I gotta make that deposit. If it was any other day of the week, I would not be in a rush to be finished, but because of what it is what it is. Yeah. Really tired. Didn't get enough sleep yesterday. And maybe I'll get enough today. Oh. Yeah, this was mostly an uneventful night, but it pays somewhat. It's profitable. So that's all well and good. And since my phone is running out of battery power and I didn't plug it in, I'm gonna say that I've got 3 more nights to go this week. Time is now 5:51. 5:51 in the morning. It is a Wednesday morning, and I just dropped off my last customer of the night. I think I've had 11 trips and one that didn't pay. Besides that, the one that didn't pay was my 3rd trip of the night, and I got sent to a little gas station. I went to the gas station, and the attendant who worked there opened the door and said that my customer is coming soon, hasn't left the premises yet. Anyway, finally she says he's coming now, so he came out, and this guy gets in and he doesn't say anything except Oak Apartment. He messes around on his phone and he gets Oak Apartment 5301, and I said, I don't know where that is. Give me an address. Oak Apartment 5301. Can you tell me what street that's on? And he messed around with his phone some more and he said, my apartment. But it was like, you could tell, I think, that he was someone who spoke Spanish. And then I said, no comprende. I don't understand. No comprende. And he tried again to explain. He says, go. Okay, where do I go? I can't go somewhere without a destination. He says, go. What, like this, go. Oh, okay. So I went in that direction, and he go that way, and then he says, turn left. He really meant right. And then he showed me the back entrance to the parking lot behind 3501 Savannah, and the apartment building is called Fair Oak, or Fair Oaks. So he had the address wrong. He said 5301 when it was really 3501. Anyway, and he didn't have the street name. I needed the street name. The street, the road. It's the address. Oh, what a joke. Anyways, we got there, and I was going to turn into the parking lot immediately behind the building, and he wanted me to go the other way. And the other way was a fence here, a fence there, and a fence in front of us. And he's getting out of the car without paying. And he says, hotel. I said, what hotel? Hotel. Hotel, he says, hotel. And I really don't understand what's going on here. I don't know what hotel he's talking about. What hotel? He says, my apartment, hotel. I love you. Come with me. No, buddy. Goodbye. Don't want to see you no more. Anyway, that was terrible. It was like a $5.65 on the meter when he got out, and I didn't want him back in. So I left. I completely left. Anyways, I've got 236 on, something like that. Oh, that doesn't look too closed. It says closed in Detour. It doesn't look too closed. I'm gonna go this way. Construction zone. Road closed. I went right around the barrier. There's gonna be another barrier up ahead. I can get around that too. What a joke. Anyway. Oh, there's a big big stupid thing in the way. Oh, what a mess. Big stupid. So much for shortcuts. Oh, I just want to get back to town before it rains again, so that I can walk home without getting rained on. Yeah. Stupid construction zone. I don't want to have to wash the car. No, I'm not gonna anyway. I spent much of the night sleeping, trying to watch a video. I did a fair amount of sleeping. Like I said, I've only had, I think, 10 paying trips. And that's not counting that incident with that idiot at the gas station who went 2 blocks. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just exhausted. Two more nights to go this week. Time is now 5:04 in the morning, and I had, well, quite a night of extremes. It was extremely quiet out here. I was doing 1 trip an hour before midnight, and just after 11 I cleared from a trip and I had $103 on. Now I sat for over 3 hours before I got another call, and it wasn't even a call on the dispatch. That call was from my very generous customer, and I really mean very generous this time, because, you know, he would call me up and he'd want to go somewhere, he'd want to go for a ride somewhere, and I would take him, and he would typically pay double the fare. Well, this time I showed up and he was outside pacing around, and he said that his friend got into the car and drove away, and of course they'd been drinking and probably snorting cocaine. Anyway, the guy drove away, and so he says, here, this is for your time, for your trouble to come here. And I said, all right. He gives me $40, and I said, you don't know how much this means to me. He says, well, what do you mean? I say, well, it cost, I haven't broken even before receiving this, so you've given me gas money and you've started me in the profits. He says, that's all the profit you have? I said, well, yeah, so far. And he says, turn on the light. So I turned on the light, and he gave me another $100 bill, just like that. I said, wow, you didn't have to do that. That's really, really more than generous. And he says, well, I help out when I can. He shook my hand and said, have a good night. It's unbelievable. And now I just had another customer who went for a $7 ride and gave me a $20 bill, just like that. Despite the slow night, the slow, terrible night that I've had, I'm at $290. yeah, I've only had a couple of trips since my very generous customer gave me that. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. So, yeah, it's turning out to be both the slowest night of the week and the best night of the week so far. How strange is that? I'd say that's extremely strange. Well, that's where I am right now. And I've got just under an hour to go. Somebody asked me to go pick her up at 8 o'clock, and I don't think I'll be able to do that. And there's no way I'm going to go home and come out again. No way. No. Well, one more night to go, and I pray that it's good, because I'm going to need that. Okay, time is now 5:55 in the morning. It is the end of my shift. I am going to go and park this thing. But first I need to go First I need to fuel up, and then I need to park it in a location where I don't usually park it. The owner talked to me yesterday, or a few days ago, and said that he wants to, he's got to have the back seat reupholstered because it's getting kind of ragged. So, okay, I have to take it to a certain address and then walk home. Fortunately, it's not raining at the moment, which is okay. So I slept in partially because, well, I have a new girlfriend, and she asked me to come and pick her up at 8 o'clock in the morning and take her home from somewhere. 8 o'clock in the morning, I left her the message back saying, I go home at 6. And then she, at 5 minutes to 8, she sends me a message, can you please come and pick me up? Okay, all right. And then, so I picked her up at 8 o'clock. And she wanted to go to my place for a little bit. And then she wanted to go home, and she had a few errands to run. By the time I got back home from dropping her off at her place, it was 10 o'clock. Fortunately, when we were at my place, I had a chance to have my breakfast. But I had to impress upon her that, hey, if I'm working after the day, I don't need to be bothered. I can't afford to take the time to spend with you on weekdays when I'm working. So anyway, I slept in through both of my alarms. I fell asleep at my computer, and I slept through both of my alarms. And oh gosh. Yeah. I woke up at 6:30. Now my shift begins at 6. I didn't have time to prepare something to eat. I just had enough time to, well, brush my teeth, have a shower, get dressed, and get out to work. And then it was busy for a little while. It was. And around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it slowed down. And I cleared from a trip at 11:51. And I got my next call at 4:30. That's almost 5 hours between trips. I think that's some kind of record for this year. I think that's some kind of record for several years, to go almost 5 hours between trips. I just watched a lot of video. I did snooze a couple times. Yeah. I should take myself off the board here. Take myself off the board. Fuel this thing and park it. And then I have to go get my girlfriend because she wants to come over. Yeah. I don't know when I'll get a chance to edit this video. Yeah. I'll maybe edit it silently. That's what I'll do. I'll edit it in such a way so she won't hear it if I'm working on it. Yeah. So if she's coming over to my place today, she might be at my place all weekend. We'll see. We'll see. It's throwing off my routine. In a way, I kind of like having someone who likes spending time with me, who likes being with me. But I'm just used to living alone, and I have my routine. And this week it's been upset. The night, like I said, was not spectacular, but in the morning hours, I got myself from $103 to $171. I know I didn't make a very big profit, but at least I made a profit. So that's better than the way things were looking between 11:51 and 4:30, where I just had, yeah, I was like $8 short of my lease or something, whatever. It was not the way to go. No, it was 107. 103 was the night before, when my generous customer gave me $140. Wow, that saved that night. And this night was, though not spectacular, I still made, you know, about $50 for myself. Well, maybe a little less, maybe $45 for myself. We'll see when I fuel up how much it's going to be, and I don't expect it to be much more than $10, because I've only driven 101 kilometers tonight, and the consumption is 6.7, and the price of fuel is $1.69.9 per liter. I've only used like seven. I only used about 12 liters. Yeah. Well, I hope yours is better than mine.